Curious about DTF printing? Me too. We're gonna unbox this whole setup and learn all about it together. Hey everyone, I'm Jackie from Adam Hart Cross Stitch, and today's sponsored video is all about this Procolored DTF printer K13 Lite. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when Procolor reached out to me about this collaboration, I was very transparent with them and let them know that not only have I never used any type of equipment like this, but that I don't even know what DTF printing is and had never heard about it before. They said, no problem, we got you. This is a completely beginner-oriented, user-friendly setup. So we're gonna go ahead and put that to the test because again, I've never really used anything like this. I'm not super familiar with the technology, but I am really excited to try it out. They did send me this whole setup in exchange for the video review. So I'm just gonna kind of take you all with me as we go through it together. Now, this particular setup is also marketed as being compact and friendly for small spaces and in-home use. I will say these boxes are definitely heavy. So I think this is another aspect that, at least for me, I'm gonna be pretty focused on as I get all of this unboxed up and running, because I am definitely tight on space. Of course, I do want to say a quick big thank you to Procolored for sending me all of this and letting me kind of run with the video given my lack of experience. And I'm really hoping that if this is something that is brand new to you, or maybe you're kind of familiar with it, have been researching a bit, trying to figure out if something like this is really worth it to have, especially if you have a small business like I do, I'm really hoping you guys find this video useful. But let's go ahead and unbox this stuff. We've got some very fun, fancy gloves. A paperweight, perhaps? It's really nice and heavy. We will figure out what this is at some point. And I know what this is. That's a power cord. Whew. I'm gonna guess this is the oven. And one thing, like, I'm just already obsessed with is this branding. Like, this is adorable. This is the kind of stuff I love. When you spend this much money on something, it's nice when it's like fun to look at and makes you happy. Moving on to this big one. Accessories box. Big heavy roll of the film paper. Oh, it's pink. It's bright pink. Oh my gosh. So I've got the printer and the accessories box that it came with out of the shipping box. Let's go ahead and see what's included in the accessory box. All right, first up, we have a user manual, and then right away, customer care card with QR codes for easy access to connect with their setup resource, tech support, and moisturizing device guide. Well, I will find out what that is soon enough. Got some funnels. I'm gonna assume this is for refilling the ink. I believe this gets attached to the top of the printer and it's just like a fun decal. It says Fluffy Panda. I'm really liking this packaging. Some tubing, and then it looks like a cutting device, sponges, power cord, USB, screwdrivers. They give you a set of like spare parts. That's super helpful, I guess, if you're needing to do a repair. More tubing, jar. Looks like some more things that probably need to get attached to the machine. Cable, syringes, some lint-free cloth. So that's everything in the accessories box. I'll definitely be keeping this box and storing all my stuff in here because it's cute. Last thing to do is to get this beauty fully unpackaged and then read the user manual, really find out what we need to be doing. My initial first impressions after getting all of this unboxed, I was really worried about the size of these things when the boxes came here, because honestly, in the shipping boxes, this was too heavy for me to lift or carry. But now that it's all unpackaged, like, yes, it's still heavy. Like, this is a very robust piece of machinery, but it's doable. Probably better to have this be a two-person unboxing job, but I was technically able to do it on my own. Not that I would advise it, but I definitely do feel like so far I am pleasantly surprised with the size of these two items. It is definitely compact for what it is, like for what this is. Could someone realistically put this in their office if they had the space? Absolutely. But really, my garage is my like main kind of business workspace. So that's where all of this is going to go. And I'm definitely definitely gonna have room in there for all this. I think next step is to just kind of jump into the user manual and really see how to set this thing up. There are two things you will need in addition to everything you see here, and that is a Windows computer and a heat press. But other than those two things, everything else you need should be included. Go ahead, take a look at our user manual and get this thing set up. So the manual is really just more of general settings, what's included with the machine, letting you know what the buttons do. So I'm gonna go ahead and scan these QR codes for the setup resource and hope and pray that it tells me what to do.
Use a screwdriver to unscrew the screws.
So it looks like step one is opening this up.
Latches. Do not discard the removed L. Take out the roll film and read the introduction.
Next step is plugging it in. Okay, it's making noises. There's kind of a whole list of videos, but I'm gonna go ahead and watch a bunch of these. I don't think any of them are longer than 3.5 minutes. So there's maybe 9 of them total, but they're all short. So I'm gonna watch these videos so I can actually get familiar with what I need to do, what the next steps are, and we will circle back here. All right, so the videos were super helpful. The really two big next steps for me are to put the ink in here and then install the software on my computer. There is a cable that you need to connect from the printer to the computer so that the computer can find the printer and all that. So I'm gonna install the software now. Software is successfully installed. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is run a head cleaning. So we're doing clean nozzle. So the nozzle clean portion is done. I did get like these little air things flashing right there. It's because there was a piece of paper in there I needed to print out or pull out. So I did just like turn it off, turn it back on, and then it kind of went back through the process and now it's all good. So now we need to do print test strip, and this is a no ink print test. And it's really just testing this, you know, is the software able to make the printer work essentially? That's kind of how the video described it. Print test complete. So I think I'm gonna add ink and then go from there. So there's a button all the way over here and we're gonna hold it down for 10 seconds. And this is to get all the ink primed and flowing. What we're looking for in that step is that all these cartridges are like filled with the correct ink colors. If one of these wasn't filled with ink, you can like remove it out and manually prime it. There's waste ink. So we're gonna open up the side. I probably should have kept my gloves on, but I didn't. And then we're taking this tube and we're drawing up about 5 mLs of ink. All right, there we go. And then you put it back in the tube or in the container, and then the tube goes back in. I'm gonna go ahead and print a test strip. Right, so the only problem I have really is that my roll is not fully aligned. So I'm gonna try and fix that real quick. So my battery died at some point during that. I did end up printing like 2 or 3 test pages and did one more ink cleaning just to get the test page looking good, I think. But I'm gonna go ahead and print a design on here. I found this really cute illustration of dancing frogs, and I thought it'd be like a funny play on words. Frog like no one's watching. This is tapping into my very niche stitching community, but if you get it, you get it. So we're gonna see if I can get that to print successfully on my first try. I will say the software is really easy to use. Don't know if you can see that, but basically you just put your image there, put it to size, and then you just go print. It's sending to printer. Sent to printer. Okay, let's see. Okay, I was really nervous. I did not think I set this up correctly, but pretty sure it's working the way it's supposed to. And I don't know if you all can hear the noise that it's making. Usually with these microphones, it kind of sometimes drowns out the background noise too much where you're not going to hear like the true sound of the machine. Obviously you hear it, it's a printer, it's printing, but it's really not loud. If this were running in the office while I was on the computer doing work. It's not bothersome. I think it's quieter than my just regular toner printer I have in the office right now. We'll let it continue to run. I did make this design as wide as it allows you to go, which is 10 inches. So it's definitely on the bigger side. It's 120 right now. I'm guessing it's been going for probably 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll keep an eye on the clock and let you know how long it takes. All right, we're nearing the end of the print. This is taking about 20 minutes and it's almost done. All right, it's done printing. I'm gonna feed the film out. This side is all wet. We're gonna be adding some powder to it, but let's go ahead. So you definitely wanna feed the paper out a lot more because I just rolled it over part of it, but all right. So that's the design. The color is impressive. And you can kind of tell I'm working with limited space, but this next step, this DTF powder came with this little shaker bottle. So we're gonna shake that all over the back of the design. So that's nice and coated. We're gonna now put this in the oven. We're gonna put on our very nice gloves. And then there's a power button on the back. It took me a little bit to figure out what temperature this needs to be set at and how to set the time. If I could give them one suggestion, it's to put that somewhere. It's not on the materials. It's not in the videos they showed. They just tell you to like press the start button. But essentially, if you come here to temperature, mine was already on Fahrenheit. You want it at about 275. And then to set the time, you press set. It says 180 seconds. That's what I set it at. Placing that there. And we're pressing start. All right. And what we're looking for is like an orange peel texture. That lets you know that it's cured. I definitely see that. Now, when Procolor reached out to me, they asked me, do you have a heat press? And I was like, yeah, thinking they just meant one of these like iron heat presses. In their videos, it's like an actual fancy heat press. This does not go up to the temperature they recommend in their videos, but we're just gonna go ahead and give it a try because this is what we have. If we gotta press a couple of times, I think that's fine. And then this, you're just placing over for like protection, okay? I think I'm gonna have to do this in sections. But we'll see if this does the trick. All right, so let's do our next quadrant. So I don't know if that was enough to do the trick. I did learn that this is not a paperweight, but it's actually a cooling block because you want this to cool for a couple minutes before you peel it back, and this helps with the cooling process. It looks like it transferred pretty well. I kind of just want to go around one more time. Okay, now we use our not a paperweight glass cooling block and just gonna go all around. They say in their videos it just needs about 2 minutes to cool. And that little mess up, that was my mess up from doing the cutter on the printer too close to the design, but oh my gosh. Okay, I mean, this is actually so much cuter than I was even anticipating. I will admit, this whole process start to finish took a little bit longer than I was anticipating. I've definitely like been at this for a couple of hours. Obviously though, that's the initial setup, watching all the videos, figuring out how to do it, installing the software, you know, the whole thing. Also, after I printed like the test pages, I did not have a whole lot of confidence that this was gonna turn out. Is it absolutely perfect? No, like there's a little bit of like residue from where I didn't completely get that white powder off of the transfer film before baking it. And then heat pressing it onto my shirt. But the fact that this even came out as good as it did for my first time with really not knowing what the heck I'm doing, I would say like this is beginner friendly. That doesn't mean that you won't have to put any work into actually doing some research, figuring out how this all works, taking the time for the initial setup. Now, for me as a small business, I love merch, but what becomes really difficult is for me, I've never been a fan of drop shipping because I sell a lot more than just t-shirts or custom designs. When it's drop shipping, it's going to be shipping from a completely different production partner somewhere else. So it's double shipping costs. And then for anyone who's ordering from my website and receiving products from me, they're going to receive their merchandise like as a completely separate order. And I've just never really liked that setup or system. On the flip side, what I've always preferred to do is like order merchandise in bulk and then just having it here so I can ship it with the orders. But that is really expensive. It's usually a pretty high like minimum order quantity for a business of my size, which is small. And it's hard to know what's going to sell well and what isn't. So I have like t-shirts that I ordered 3 years ago that are still sitting on the shelves. And that is tough as a small business. So if you're in a similar situation, I mean, this is definitely an investment, but I am excited because, you know, I can have a couple of different designs available, have the t-shirts or the tote bags, whatever it is that I really like, ordered in bulk. It's not nearly as expensive when you're not adding the printing costs on top of it. And do things in small runs, really see how well things sell. You could also do it to order. But if you're in a similar situation like that, or you're someone who loves illustration and design and wants to get into like custom t-shirts and merchandise, this is a really nice step and gets you out of that dropship model if it's something that you've just never enjoyed for whatever reason. So maybe over time, yes, something like this could pay for itself. Again, I think every business and situation is unique. This is definitely something I'll be using and I'm excited about it. And I don't know, what do you like? Would you all like this frog like no one's watching on a t-shirt, on a tote bag? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on something like this. Are you familiar with this type of printing? Are you interested to see more videos as I learn more about this thing and put it to use? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I really learned something completely brand new to me. And once again, a big thank you to Procolored for sending me this incredibly generous package. Once again, I'm Jackie from Adam Hart Cross Stitch. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, happy stitching, or should I say happy printing? See you next time.